Hello, I'm Carolyn Wheeler of C-Dub Says, where we show you how to design the life you desire and give you the tools to empower you to take action on your dreams. Welcome back to Bullet Journaling 101. This series is the companion video to the articles that I'm running on cdubsays.com. I also have a free ebook available to you, and you can get the link to the ebook and the articles in the description below. In previous videos, we covered buying a bullet journal and tools you need, what to include in your bullet journal, future logs and mental inventory, and monthly spreads. Today, we're going to look at creating weekly and daily spreads, as well as task lists and signifiers. So let's get started. Writer Carroll, creator of the bullet journal, doesn't mention weekly spreads in his method book, and instead only discusses daily spreads. So why create a weekly spread? Well, for starters, you have more space for writing. While the monthly calendar spread is good for briefly describing events and appointments, it really doesn't give you that much room for details. Weeklies allow you to see your week at a glance, so you can better schedule out your tasks. If you're used to the weekly spreads you find in many traditional planners, you may find this option more appealing. If you create them, remember to add them to your index. As we discussed in the previous video, we're going to migrate our tasks and other information from the monthly spread to the weekly spread. Now I'm going to show you how to create a weekly spread in your bullet journal. The first thing I'm going to show you is a basic spread. So on this side of the page, I've got the week drawn out with the days and the dates on this side, and I have this space where I can put my tasks and any events or appointments I have. And then on this side of the page, I've got an area for priorities, things I want to focus on in the week. I've got habits that I want to track, and then I have a space down here where I can do weekly reflections, because I think it's always a good idea at the end of the week to sort of review your progress and see what you might need to migrate to the next week, or just things that you want to take note of as you look back and look forward on the week. Now I'm going to show you a fancier version of the week that you can do. What I've done is I've used a sponging technique to decorate the page, because I wanted it to be not plain white, and because this is a February spread, I wanted to use some pinks and reds to celebrate Valentine's Day. I will give you a link to a video on how to do this sponging technique with stamp ink and a sponge. I'll put that in the description below. So as you can see, I've already pretty much laid out most of the pages, but I'm going to demonstrate how you can do some stamping and fill out the rest of the page. So I'm going to work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on this page, and then I'm going to add some additional decoration so that you can see how it all goes. So now if you look at the layout, you can see you have two options. I did this side with this dash border, and I did this side with a solid border, so you can see, you know, just different options and variations for your designs. Over here I have open hold bullets for tasks. Over here, I don't put anything on there, so you can just handwrite them. But I just wanted to be able to show you all of the different variations that you can do with a weekly spread. The weekly spread is certainly optional, but it's worth exploring and trying out for a bit. Now let's take a look at daily pages. If you're not doing a weekly, you definitely want to do a daily. I don't recommend both, however, because that's overkill. Instead of seeing your activities spread out over a week at a time, the daily pages drill down a bit so you only really focus on one day at a time. The obvious benefit of a daily spread is being able to dedicate more space in your journal for each day. This allows you to include more detail than in other spreads. The great thing about the daily spread is that you can customize it to what you want to keep track of. Here are some things you might want to include in your daily spread: a task list, appointments or other events, your health logs, your habit trackers, and reflections on the day. Here's an example. We are going to look at the Gesso Technique with Gelato so we can create a fancy background for our decorative daily bullet journal layout. What we're going to do first is apply Gesso, which is a medium that prepares a page for painting or watercolors or specialty inks. It makes your paper a little crisp so that the medium sort of sit on top with instead of bleeding through your page. So what I've done is I've already applied the gesso. Let me open it up so you can see what it looks like. My cat is about to join us again. So it's just like a yeah, it's kind of gross, isn't it? It's like a kind of a that kind of consistency, not like a paste, but a little bit thinner than a paste. But what you do is you want to just brush over your page, and I've already done that, prepped it for you. But that's what you want to do first, and you want to leave it dry. And it takes, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes before the page is fully dry. So I'm going to set this aside. And now I'm going to use my Gelatos. And I have a pack here with different colors. And I'm going to use, because I like purples and pinks, I'm going to use these three colors here. And they're like crayons. And what you do is, it looks like lipstick almost. But I'm just going to color in. And it's sort of waxy too. I'm going to color in my page. And I'm going to layer the colors. I'm going to have this color kind of go in a little bit to the other. And then finally I'm going to use my darkest color here. And you don't have to be perfect, doesn't matter. And I might come down here a little bit. So that's what your page looks like after you've put the gesso on. And now I'm going to use some water and a paintbrush, and I'm going to just glide, sweep back and forth over the page surface like so. And I'm just blending in, just using a little bit of water. I don't want to douse my page. I just want to use enough so that the wax from the gelatos blend into each other like so. And as you can see, I got a nice little ombre effect, a little gradient going, and it's just a cool way to create backgrounds. I love this technique. I probably overuse it. I don't care. I just think it's cool. This page actually turned out pretty cool. I like the the blending of these colors. And if I wanted it to be darker, I could go back. That's the beauty of the gelatos. You can go back and, you know, fill in if you want, and then take your brush and just, you know, smooth out the piece that you just waxed over. And you can continue layering to get the effect you want. But I kind of like this. Now what I'll do sometimes is I'll take some spray, like pearls or spray paint, and just sprinkle it on top to add a different effect, or some shimmer you can use, and I'll show you that effect. So I have some glimmer mist, old school glimmer mist. That's the cool thing about bullet journaling, is you see I've just done a little spritz there. The cool thing about bullet journaling is you can use your stash. If you're a craft person and you like paper crafts, you can use your stash and anything would work on your pages, which is why you see me using stamps and inks and things like that. And then there's like a little shimmer. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little shimmer from the glimmer mist, and it creates an interesting effect, and I really like it. I've also created a grid for what I want to put on my daily page, the content that goes in these boxes. So what I'm going to do right now is begin to fill in the content of these boxes, like so. If you're doing daily spreads, you're going to migrate whatever items you want to focus on from your monthly spread here. Remember to add your daily spreads to the index. Let's dive deeper into tasks. Your tasks should be written in bulleted list form, hence the name bullet journal. The act of jotting down your task is called rapid logging. It's a list-making style of journaling, so if you like making lists, you should become a big fan of bullet journaling. Your bullets are generally tasks, things you need to do, events, appointments, things to attend, or notes, ideas or thoughts or anything else you want to remember. Tasks are bullets, events are open circle bullets, and notes are indicated by a dash. Any subtasks can be indented under the main task, and when a task is completed, you mark an X through the bullet. If a task needs to be moved to the next month or into a specific collection, you change the bullet to a right-pointing arrow. If a task comes up that falls outside of the current month's priorities, then change your bullet to a left-pointing arrow to indicate that it should be placed somewhere in your future log. Here are some other signifiers you can use to give your entries more context. An asterisk indicates something that is a priority. Put it next to any task that you want to make sure you accomplish. Exclamation points indicate ideas or inspiration. Dollar signs can describe something about money, finances, or bills you need to pay. Signifiers can be any symbols you want to use to highlight specific items in your journal. Have fun with it. It's your journal, so customize it however you like. In the final and next video, we'll dive into custom collections. Don't forget to visit cdubsays.com to read articles on bullet journaling and to get your free Bullet Journaling 101 ebook. And be sure to check out C-Dub Says Journals, custom-made dot grid journals available to you to support your bullet journaling habit on Amazon.com. I'll see you next time.